All right, make sure I give people an opportunity. Have this link here. Okay, this shit. I like this update they did. All right, this is Jay Leno. If anybody wants to join us this morning, the link is right here in the chat. You can also request it again. Make sure you hit that like button for us if you don't mind. I'm here with my guy Jay. We got us here another one. Jay, if believe you're the one that hit the group chat and let us know about what went down in New Orleans this weekend, man. Could you fill us in for us?
Yeah, Louisiana 50 had an event. Um, he had the Humor Fest where he had a lot of comedians, he had a lot of rappers, he had the Cash of Power on stages performing. He's building the studio down in Louisiana, so he's getting a lot of money together, getting promotions together, bringing people to the city. So apparently, Hurricane Chris had an issue with that. He said he wasn't having Louisiana artists there.
Well, I'm gonna cut you off. We're gonna let him say it himself to give the
Also,
to give.
Frito Bang was in attendance too. But carry on.
Yes, sir.
You supposed to that's a part of hip hop. You throw a concert in Louisiana and don't book no Louisiana legends and put no bankroll in no Louisiana legends pocket, but you pay the police $500,000. What type of bitch ass shit is that? Nigga, you in my city, nigga. You taking advantage of my city, nigga, cause shit cheap and shit costs way less than it costs where you from. And y'all stupid slow so crazy that y'all gonna let this nigga come down here and not show no love to Louisiana. This nigga ain't booked no Louisiana artist. This nigga ain't booked Big Papa. This nigga ain't booked B Will. This nigga ain't booked Hurricane. That nigga didn't even go to Baton Rouge and get no Boosies or no Webbies. Like, nigga did us. Nigga came to take advantage of us. Shreveport had cheap ass land. He came and bought that shit, and a nigga don't with us, and he just showed you that by paying the police $500,000 when we got young niggas out here starving, when we got young niggas out here killing each other. Money could have went to anything to help youth. We don't need more money invested into police, nigga. We need more money invested into the community.
I can't go. I don't even want to go that far, man. Like, I'm a Hurricane Chris fan. And he's feels very adamant. I think he wanted to pick who 50 Cent wanted to be at his event. I think he wanted that much fucking control over,
Yeah. One thing they always say, man, no matter what you do for everybody, it's always one nigga somewhere hate. You know what I'm saying? One nigga mad. One nigga saying you should have did this, you should have did that. You know what I mean? Tell you what to do with you and your money. You know what I mean? Shit crazy. But,
I mean, it's I mean, there's so many boxes I want to check, because like there's so much I want to respond to, because by saying a little, he said a lot. That's kind of that's how I feel about this entire situation. For instance, just to dissect even that little bit that he had said, it's like, when you're not from somewhere, 50 Cent, this is the first time this has ever happened, Hurricane Chris. 50 has always traveled with the responsible security. Even back to all of his beefs, armored trucks, bomb-proof trucks, military security, armed security. Not just, I mean, it's just this you're not tapped into the world right now. I think you've been in Baton Rouge by yourself for a very long time.
No.
So
I don't want that nigga to think like, you know what I'm saying, niggas don't respect where you from and all, but I mean, security is security, dog. You know what I'm saying? And if everything is going down in that video, like he said, then security should be paid for. If niggas are killing each other, robbing, stabbing, and stealing, and you're holding an event, it would be likewise to have security. So, I mean, end of the day, business is business. And that's a great executive decision, if you're asking me.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I could tell you're an African American. I'm gonna say something culturally that a lot of people are gonna understand. Matter of fact, I don't think this boils down to race. Have you ever had a cousin that's always drama, that's always getting into it with somebody in your family, like your immediate family?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but sometimes that person isn't invited to the cookout.
Yeah. Yeah, when you bring issues, when you bring problems, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen much from Hurricane Chris. I know he beat a murder charge or some shit like that, self-defense, but either way, I mean, 50 is in the process of bringing a studio, G-Unit Studios, to Shreveport, Louisiana. He's hosting festivals. That studio is going to bring an economy with it. It's going to bring travel, which is going to help the airport business. It's going to bring travel some more, which is going to help the hotel business. It's going to help the food industry because people going to have to come there and eat there. You know what I mean? So, and that studio is going to bring jobs there, and it's more business. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if somebody's bringing more to your city than you are, sometimes it's best to sit quiet and just watch things unfold. You know?
Perhaps wait for your opportunity, or you know, I mean, like you may not be the person to be sought after.
I mean, there may be a time where, you know, Hurricane Chris could be on the show that's being filmed in 50 Cent studio. You never know, so you never want to burn your bridges too early. You know?
That's exactly what's going on, and you know. This is not the first time Hurricane Chris have done this. Hurricane Chris has been very vengeful. He's definitely felt like he's been wronged in this music industry, and majority of his interviews and his takes have been like that. He doesn't really elaborate on where he's moving forward. A lot of his appearances in media and YouTube and all these sites, he's reflecting on things in the past. And sometimes even when you're wronged and you want to bring awareness to it, it's sometimes more important to show your vision of how you move forward. I don't think another prime example of this is of in comparison to turn into a metaphor is almost like a Dame Dash moment. You don't want to be known for these situations. You want to be known for you want the acknowledgement of positivity.
Right, definitely.
Because as of lately, you know, nobody is saying anything about your music. Even, I mean, you've got some TikTok hits, but you've been spazzing not just on 50. You've been spazzing on a lot of people lately, and it's coming off very emotional. And you know, whatever you are going through, Hurricane Chris, I think, you know, an apology would be the best thing you could do in this moment.
I don't even know if that's gonna happen. But 50 not the type of person to beef with, and 50 don't even take apologies. So I mean, you know, it's one of those things that not knowing your opponent, not knowing the machine that you up against. Lately, you got a lot of people that been talking in the phones and doing interviews because they ain't got nobody that'll listen to them that's around them. You know what I'm saying? That's what gets people talking into the phones. That's what get people talking into the screens or not talking back. So we'll see. We'll see if the people of Louisiana agree. You know what I mean? But I look at 50 getting a lot of support.
Well, other rappers have already responded and they've been reached out to. Hurricane Chris kind of put the foot in his mouth because once he had made that post, other musicians that performed at this festival pretty much was like, are you disrespecting me? Are you saying that I'm not a legend because I performed today and you did it?
I mean, like I said, man, there's a lot going on. I think that, you know, everybody wants a voice. It's a lot of people that take pride in being that negative person. You know what I mean? Being that overly opinionated, that overly outspoken. Sometimes it ain't necessarily needed. Sometimes it's You know, sometimes you gotta let things manifest, especially when it has something to do with your neighborhood, where you around, the people you want. You know, you should at least do your due diligence to do the research before you speak. I would say that.
I this whole scenario cracks me up because compared to the beefs that 50 Cent has actually went into, this is like a big dog and a little chihuahua barking moment. Like I don't think 50 is worried nor scared or in fear for his life from any threats from Hurricane Chris. It's almost like Hurricane Chris wanted to rally up some people that he didn't have.
I mean, I don't even look at this as a beef. This is a nigga got in front of a phone and spoke to a businessman that's handling business. I don't even. You're right. 50 is not worried. 50 is not bothered. 50 is continuing on about his day. You can't make everybody happy. All you can do is continue to do business. You know. I think at this point, 50 Cent is so well off in business right now in the entertainment industry that without Hurricane Chris's approval, he'll be able to move forward. I'm confident in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident he'll be able to walk the streets of Shreveport, Louisiana, and Baton Rouge, and he'll be able to conduct business without Hurricane Chris's approval. And maybe when he gets some leverage, Hurricane Chris, maybe he'll be able to inflict change. But at this current moment, right now, nah.
So I did my research, and this isn't a moment to where he's just taking advantage of the culture. I mean, it is an opportunity within this city, but he actually has ties with like so many people in New Orleans. Master P funded his first tour. He already had, and then 50 Cent has always had a really good relationship with Birdman and Cash Money Records.
Yeah.
And with Juvenile and Boosie and 50, well, G Unit and Boosie has done collaborations together as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Doing business in a city where you're building and funding an entire studio that's going to bring jobs to the community is past hip hop culture. So I don't really think he needs to have ties. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And he don't need to get these people approval. Like if he want to go out and start a business and be profitable, and I think that's something that's getting old in the hip hop thing, where if you're out here trying to do business, you need another person's approval, or you need people to be happy for you, or you got to feed certain people in order to conduct business. That shit really needs to stop. It's getting corny. It's getting old. It's getting played out. I can say that the same things have been said about Drake. You know what I mean? And being in Houston and doing business in Houston and feeding the streets and not feeding the streets or not putting certain people on. But it's people have a decency and a respect and obligation to put their cell phone. You know what I mean? Not just rely on 50. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But you know, 50 doing business. And to be one of the biggest bullies, he won't be bullied, so I'm pretty sure he'll be just fine.
I mean, ironically enough, I wouldn't be surprised if 50 Cent wanted to send, you know, a human being to step on this cockroach. He could, and it could come from any direction.
I don't even think 50 would do that at this point. It's not even worth the risk. You know what I mean? Hurricane Chris ain't started no problems in 50's day. that studio being built, whether Hurricane Chris is happy or not.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not. You know, he's not going to hinder anything. But I have noticed, man, in the past like 4 years, 50 Cent has been developing real estate all across the South. And he spent a lot of time in Texas. I remember that there was a home that he had purchased in New Orleans as well. And then now we're looking at a studio.
I mean, land is at a cheaper price than it is up north in the South. So If you're able to take northern money and invest it in southern land, you're always gonna come out better.
Yeah, and then he's confident enough to want to create a market. I mean, LA has a market for studios. New York has a market for studios. In the South, it's looking like it's merely Tyler Perry. And even 50 Cent in an interview said that, his motivation and ideals for the future of this studio is going to almost be at the point of mirroring Tyler Perry's studio. And there's much examples in business to where a competitor is always created.
I mean, the goal is to, as a film creator, the goal is to create your own content, create your own films, and then create your own studio, so you don't have to pay to create your own content. So I mean, it's a great business model. I'm sure he's gonna follow Tyler Perry's method because it's profitable and it works. And I'm sure that with this investment, years down the line, 50 will be very, very wealthy.
Oh yeah, most definitely agree. What I was trying to elaborate on is for every market that gets created, the government itself and its people and politicians, they're not going to allow you to have to withhold a monopoly. A competition is going to be created.
Yeah.
They're of its likeness. So Tyler Perry can't just sit there in the South and have the only studio there chilling. There's going to be a competitor, and 50 inserted himself in this situation, and with these ties and opportunities. And I believe you elaborated on the last in the group chat, or at least over the phone yesterday, Dave, about how 50 kind of has separated himself from the Stars Network.
Yeah, he's working on getting himself removed. If you notice, a lot of his shows are ending on the 4th season, so that he can take those same characters, those same obligations, and put them in their own realm. He's able to create content, and a lot of people, the Stars app is based upon 50 in his Power series. So if you take Power off of Stars, you can see a lot of people unsubscribe. And 50 understands that power, 50 understands that voice, he understands that influence. So he's definitely moving forward, I think, with creating his own content, stepping away from Stars. And if he's able to do that in his own studios, he's definitely going to continue to be wealthy.
And hand in hand, it's almost to where like 50 is so active behind the scenes that he doesn't get acknowledged of. And if you pay attention to what he does, this man never sleeps and he works very hard. Now, this is something very opinionated by me. I'm going to make this assumption, but it's going to be hard to refute this opinion. I believe for the past 15 to 20 years, 50 Cent has been doing this campaign to take down any person that's above him other than Dr. Dre and Eminem. He's competitively went after. In the business mogul sense, he's went after Jay, he's went after Diddy. He's also been rumored to have hired private detectives to investigate Diddy behind the scenes for this entire time. And with Diddy falling off of the totem pole of black moguls, especially in opportunities of hip hop where networks might be invested into hip hop, and Diddy being now out of the way, 50 Cent has given himself an opportunity to be presented to be able to hold down a huge investment in a network to move forward and become a top-notch mogul. I could honestly see 50 Cent now moving in the realm of, I guess, in comparison to his closer to the peer of Jay-Z. I know I rambled for a long time, but are you kind of with me on what I'm trying to say right now?
I mean, I think 50's put in the work. I think it's definitely competition based. I wouldn't say it's personal. But yeah, I mean, over these past 10 to 15 years, he's put the work in order to elevate himself to where he can reach a certain level of status. We're not mad at that. I think with Diddy, I think it's very personal, and I think 50 follows the 48 laws of power, and when you see your competitor going down, you stick their face in the mud. And he did that with Diddy, you know. But I have seen 50 show a lot of grace to people. I've seen him take the certain route, but he is a competitor. He does want to be amongst the greats. He's willing to take his time and work to get where he needs to be. So he will be there shortly. Mm-hmm. If he's not there already, you know, he's a very private person. So, but yeah, gotta salute for it.
Yeah, he's gotten the exposure. I think he's went through the ups and downs. He's kind of aware. I could not say that 50 Cent is inexperienced through adversity. I believe he's went through so much adversity in his life that his confidence in life lessons and his strategies has made him a better person.
Yeah.
And a lot of doors are open up to him. And you know, a lot of people forget that 50 normally doesn't burn his relationships in business or the people around him. Though I know you guys see him troll people a lot, but basically I only see 50 Cent go after people that are his competition. And if he doesn't see them as an ally, that's just what happens. Yeah. And we've seen 50 humble himself against people that gave him an opportunity. I've never seen 50 say anything bad about Snoop, Eminem, Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre. So, and those are big wigs.
Yeah.
But I'm reeling this back into Hurricane Chris. Jay, is there any advice you would give Hurricane Chris in this situation? Because I feel like he put his foot in his mouth, and you know, instead of just tearing this man down, you know, let's how can we sharpen him up a bit?
Honestly, I would tell Hurricane Chris to don't worry about what's going on around you. Worry about what's going on within you. And then, you know, sometimes you got to focus on your own career goals, your own aspirations, and get where you need to be before you get opinionated about what the big dogs are doing right now. I would say that, you know, work on your craft, whatever that may be, whatever your position is at this moment, and execute that. You know, whatever's going on in Louisiana right now, and I mean, from a big dog perspective, from a political perspective, he's not able to have that much input because he doesn't have that much output. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I might have to piggyback off of you, of everything that you have said. I think that at this particular time, Hurricane Chris, nobody thinks you're tough, and you know, right now, I think you need to work with honey instead of salt.
Yeah.
You know, you will probably need to gather relationships, building rapport with people, rather than burning those bridges. You know, just reiterating what we had said earlier. And this situation could put you in this predicament that you're in right now. And I think that, again, I would highly suggest an apology. It wouldn't make you a weaker man. It would make people understand you. It would help your city support you more, because the city is looking at 50 Cent like this 50 Cent studio as an opportunity with this festival, and they want this opportunity to move to the next level. And not to mention 50 Cent's ties to the other people that will be in support, that are the big wigs of New Orleans. Yeah. They have established a better relationship with 50 than they have with you. And when I say they, I'm talking about the Master P's, the Boosies, and the Birdmans. Those are billion dollar businesses and companies. Not to mention you're next door to Atlanta, and 50's already established a good rapport with the South, with all of the big wigs of the South. So I wouldn't even recommend starting beef. If you wanted to beef with 50 Cent, you might want to go all the way over to the West Coast. But even that's going to be tough because they don't really open the door to strangers. But that's how I recommend it, man. Sometimes, man, every head must bow, man.
Man.
Would you rather disappear or no longer exist?
Make craft, be better. All I can say.
That's a long time. That's a long time. Like I would say your peak time was about what was that 06 to 09.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With that being your peak, that's that's a long time from now, and you've been away from this platform, and this opportunity to have some light shown at you would be the perfect time for you to go on a strip club or club tour. You being alongside Boosie and gaining game from him, like it might be better for you, Hurricane Chris, to take some steps outside of Louisiana and building up your brand. Because other than me, I'm one of the short few fans that you have in this United States that cover all the music that you make. Because I am a fan of yours. There's a lot of people that don't know what you're doing out here, and so that's just a reflection of yourself. But you know what? That's it. As far as this topic goes, that's pretty much all I have for right now. Anything you want to include, Jay?
Nah, I think you summed it up just right.
All right, guys, this is the Jay Leno Show with Jave. We appreciate y'all for watching us.